So, the condition is this: obedience. Now, obedience comes with a price. What is the price? The price is you must be willing to let go whatever God tells you to let go, and you must be willing to die to yourself. That is the price for a visitation. Because when God comes, it's going to turn your world upside down. Whatever box tradition that you have about God must break apart. Whatever traditions that you have built in your church, in your life, in your ministry, they must crumble and fall. So before that, God puts a condition before you. The condition is, are you willing to obey me at all costs? Because it comes with a price, you know. If God is going to entrust you with the powers of the age to come, then you must be worthy of that trust. Right? When God called Moses in Exodus chapter 3, he saw the burning bush. He was enthralled by the vision that he saw. And he wanted to come closer to look at this phenomena. And the first thing that God told him was, a condition was put before him. Moses, if you want to see me further, you must do one thing. Remove your shoes. See, a condition was put there. Remove. Put away this from your life. Put away all the barriers that you have lifted up, be in you, outside you. All these traditions that you have built around you, throw them away. Remove them. Let me be God in your life. Let me be the Lord and Master in your church. Let me be the Lord, Master, King of your ministry. He wants to be the King. He wants to be the Master. He wants to be the Lord. For that, remove your shoes. What is the shoe? A shoe is something that protects your feet. It protects your walk. So remove the security. Remove the security. Remove it. What is the thing that you are holding on to? That is your security. Let it go. Let it go. I will be your source. I will be your provider. I will be your supplier. Let go. Can you? Can you? There's a pastor that I know who lives in the nation of Singapore. He belongs to the Assemblies of God Church. This pastor, before he came into full-time ministry, he was holding a very high position as a school teacher. And he was in a very high position in the government. And at the same time, he had a thriving, growing church. One day before his retirement, the Lord told him, resign your work. Of course, he spoke to him months ago, and the Lord specifically told him when to resign. He said, you must submit your papers one day before your retirement. And he clearly heard from the Lord. He had no doubt about it. When he told his wife about it, she was like Mrs. Sarah. She began to talk her sense into his head. Like all good wives do, you know. They like to talk some sense into their husband's head, like what Sarah did to Abraham. Talk some sense into his head and come up with a plan to help God. Because God is helpless, you know. You need to help God fulfill His word. Don't laugh. That's exactly what we are doing every day in our lives. Right? You may laugh at the way I put it, but if you look at yourself in the mirror, that's what you do every day in your life. You are helping God fulfill His word that He gave you. Because you don't believe God. That's what Sarah did. She couldn't believe God that in her late stage of her life, she can conceive. She couldn't believe that at all. So, the pastor's wife, she spoke some sense into his head. And then the pastor's denominational heads, the superintendent, the this tendon, that tendon, every tendon, they all spoke some sense into his head. But this pastor was adamant. He said, no, I have clearly heard from the Lord. And he submitted his resignation. Even the principal in the school called him to the office and talked sense into his head. Why are you so stupid? Can't you just wait one more day? Yeah, go and serve your God. See, you know what the Pharaoh told Moses? Okay, go and serve your God, but only let the men go. Let all your women and your children and your animals stay back. Only the men can go. But Moses said, no, it's stock and barrel. It's all of us will go. Our children, our grandchildren, our old and the young and all our animals will go, because we do not know what God will require out of us. That's what Moses told him. We don't know what God will require, so we might as well go entirely, so that we will know what God will speak to us and what He will require out of us. So, no matter what advisors or what common sense people were talking to him, the pastor was adamant and he said, no, I submit my resignation. So his resignation was accepted, so which meant he lose all his benefits. Do you have a system of pension in the US? You do. Okay. So he loses his pensions, he loses his gratuity, a big lump sum of money he could get from the government. He lost everything simply because God said, resign. So he resigned. So now he has no security to fall back on if God would let him down. You know why we built our security nest? Because we always believe that God will let us down. We believe that God will forsake us. We have a strong belief in that. God cannot be trusted at His word. So you better have a backup plan, a plan B. In case God fails, if you want to walk with God, there is no ifs, no buts, no commas. If you want to walk with God, burn the bridges behind you. And then you walk with God. I have bad news for you. The bad news is, God will not show you even a B when you don't even take a step on the A. Amen. See, that is the scariest part of serving God. Look at Abraham. God told him, come out of your father's house and go to a place where I will show you. That's all. When you have let everything go, when you are empty and zero, God will be all in all for you. For you. You must be willing to come to that place of emptying, of dying. When you die, you will live. If you don't die, you cannot live. You must die if you want to live.